Hey there, Start here. It's been a while since I've been able to do like a guided walkthrough with some commentary, so sorry about that. But you know, with the family in town and everything, to see the new bub and the holidays, and you know, kids. My son's been out of school, so you know that's an extra extra bit of insanity running around. But you know, it's been all really great. But the holidays are basically over here in Australia. My son heads back to school on Monday, and yeah, you know, folks are leaving this weekend, so you know it's things are slowly sort of getting back to normal. But anyways, these events this week are pretty simple. So you know, I think I can get through both of these in one video and just kind of knock it out. If you saw my video last week on the City of Demons, you can actually use that exact same team and strategy that I used with Flaring Ether Rain. You can use that exact same strategy on the Ogre plagued with Starscourge for a full all missions clear. You can't do it with the Founder plagued with Starscourge because that one requires ice units for an all missions clear. But the Ogre plagued one is quite simple. It's definitely the easier of the two. It only goes up to level 3 instead of level 4 like the other one. They're both human and fairy, so you know, if you have someone with human and fairy killer, that's great. The mission that might trip you up is the Royal Arms category units only, but like I said, if you have Flaring Ether Rain, he is a Royal Arms category unit, and he can very easily knock this one out 2-3 turns tops, right? So I'm going to do a slightly different team this time, because I don't want to do the exact same team that I showed you on the last one. If you have those units, just use that strategy again to knock this one out. But if you don't, I'm going to show you a slightly different strategy. We're going to use Tyvis. Oh, sorry, that's the other party for the other one, the Ice Clear. So this is the team that we're going to use. We're going to use Tyvis as sort of our main damage dealer. We're going to use King Behemi. He counts as a Royal Arms. He is there to basically cover all the physical attacks. This one is pretty heavy on the physical attacks. He's full evade. We're going to have Ash here to provide the buffs for the party, as well as the killers for the fairy killers. We don't have a human killer on the party, but that's fine. We honestly don't really need it. So, you know, Ash will work just fine and satisfies that Royal Arms category mission. So we'll just take a quick look. Honestly, Ash's gear is pretty irrelevant here. So, you know, if you don't have an EX2, you know, just use the fill LB on her first turn, do her LB on the second turn. And then, yeah, what we're really after here is the parting with the gods for the killers, which she will put on one of the Tyvises, and then also her Brave Shifted LB, which does the full buff, LB damage buff, and the fairy killer for everybody. Okay, so that's pretty nice. Behemi, like I said, he's just here for just make him full evade. That's all we really care about. He's just going to cover all the physical damage. Chizuru, we honestly don't care. She's really just here to ramp up a chain for Tyvis to cap. So that's why I gave her Necro Dagger, because it has 2 elements, so that it ramps the chain very, very fast. You know, her LB is a tag chain, so we want to just ramp that up really quickly with a double element. If you don't have Necro Dagger, you know, something that's got you can give her like an ice element and then have Ash imbue her with fire. And that way she has dual element. However you want to do it. The rest of her gear is irrelevant. She's not here to deal damage. Ish, her gear is also pretty irrelevant. She's really just here for the breaks. So make sure you've upgraded her fully so she gets the 89 breaks. Upgrade that ability there. The rest of her gear is pretty irrelevant. She is full evade in this build, but that's not necessary. Tyvis, you know, I went fairly budget on his build, just used a lot of the event gear because it does give him a lot of static stats, like Tyvis's Cloak and Sigurbrinium. Both of those give him 500 flat stats, which is nice. Upgrade his TMR, of course, to give him 1,000 flat stats and full chain cap boost. I meant to, almost forgot to give him his TMR. You definitely want to make sure you got his TMR equipped for that extra mod boost. All right, and then I just gave him this vision card. If you don't have it, just whatever the strongest vision card you have for him. We're bringing a friend Tyvis, so it's going to be easy to clear this in 3 turns, no problem. We'll take a look at our friend Tyvis. So he's very similar build. Yep. Oh, he even went an extra step and did the Titus's garb. I didn't put Titus's garb on mine. I probably could. I could put preemptive LB boosts on him, actually. That would actually be kind of nice. But I won't actually, I'm not going to do that. Just to show you that you don't need it if you have another friend Tyvis with you. If you were trying to do it solo, like with just one Tyvis, you'd probably want to put Tidus's garb or something on him, because he does benefit from that since he just has the plain old attack-based LB damage. I did forget about that on my build, but honestly, I think it's better, because let's assume you don't have Tidus's garb or preemptive LB boost or anything like that. You bring a friend. If you can't find a friend, but you do have preemptive LB boost, then a single Tidus can probably knock it out for you. All right. So let's go ahead and just get in here and see how we take this guy out. All right, this should be a 3-turn clear. We're just going to do a little chip damage on turn 1, then we'll do a setup on turn 2, knock him out on turn 3 with the SLB. All right, so Ish is just going to go ahead and do her crowned breaks. All right, Behemi, he's going to come in and do the cover. Frilly and Ferocious, no need for armor. Ash is just going to come in. We're just going to go ahead and do, since mine is EX2, we'll go ahead and do, sorry, we'll go ahead and do her LB. If you don't have that, surely she has like a fill LB on here somewhere, doesn't she? Maybe she doesn't. All right, well, you might have to figure out some way to fill up her LB, but it's also not that big of a deal. Okay, so we'll do her LB here. All right, Chizuru is just going to go ahead and do the chain. We're just going to go ahead and do this just to set up. Okay, so his normal LB has a bit of a windup, so I'm going to wait a second and then send Chizuru. Okay, there we go. So that's just for a little chip damage there. I think the boss has, I think he's got like 20 billion HP. I'm not actually sure. But, all right, so now Tyvis can do his Awakened ability, Tyvis' Spirit, and Elemental Burst Fire. All right, the other one does not have his TMR equipped. That's okay. Or his STMR. You can still use this ability, Elemental Burst Fire, and then we'll just do not losing anything more. Chizuru will do Devastating Samurai Slash to refill her LB. And then we'll do Parting with the Gods on actually, no, we'll do it on the friend Tyvis, I think, because the friend Tyvis has the preemptive LB boost. So let's do it on the friend Tyvis, because they'll have a stronger LB mod. And then, yeah, Behemi and Ish can just guard. That's fine. Alright. Alright, so now we're just ready to rock and roll. Alright. Pretty much exactly what we did on turn 1. Tyvis's SLB is a bit faster, so I'm going to tap the Tyvis's and then fairly shortly after do Chizuru. If your Dynast King Scion Ash was like an EX1, then, you know, hopefully you were able to get like her LB filled by now, so she can do her Brave Shifted LB. You can give her like a lot of LB filled gear and all that jazz, whatever you need to do. What we can also do is we can have Ish chain with Behemi to also do a bit more chaining. If you're a little bit worried like you're going to miss the cap or something like that, you can have them chain triple bolting strike along with Chizuru, all right, just to help ramp up that chain a little bit. So what we can do is we can go ahead and send the Tyvises and then send these guys to chain and then Chizuru, and there you go. Tyvises knock it out. Easy peasy. Okay, so yeah, so the boss must have like only like 10 billion or something, because we did a lot of overkill right there, it looked like. All right, let's see what the damage shakes out. All right, actually fairly even between the two Tyvises. That's surprising, but yeah, you know, there it is. They might not have actually been fully built for the killers on this one, actually, now that I think about it, but yeah, and so not surprisingly, you know, Chizuru just kind of hanging out there, but like I said, she's just there to ramp up the chain for you. So Tyvis is basically carrying this one. If my Tyvis had the preemptive LB boost equipped, he probably could have soloed this one. Seeing him do like 9.9 on this one, he probably could solo this one for you without a friend Tyvis if yours is as strong and you include preemptive LB boost. So there's that. That's an option for you. All right, let's do the other one. All right, Founder plagued with Starscourge. All right, so this one goes up to level 4 to fully upgrade. All right, come on, what you doing? To fully upgrade that piece of gear for Gladio, which you get Gladio for free, by the way, if you do the missions. So this one, you see the mission is clear with at least 2 ice category units, which means you can bring anybody else you want. As long as you bring 2 ice category units, you can bring anybody else you want. So this one's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to bring a full ice team, just to do some ice units. So I'm going to get rid of the Royal Arms. I'm going to do ice category only, and then let's see what we get. Probably not going to find too many companions in ice. There's an Ayaka. Let's see. Here's an Ayaka. Now the question is the Ayaka resistant to confuse? Because that's important. She is not confuse resistant, so she may get confused. Which, you know what? I'm just going to say forget it, because I don't want to risk like getting confused. So let's switch over to the ice, because I don't actually need a friend unit for this one. So here's my ice team. So we've got Ayaka, we've got Elena, we've got Laswell. We're using his leader skill. Obviously, if you have Frosty, use Frosty. He's got a much better leader skill. He's much stronger. Bring your Frosty along. We're bringing Ish back because she's got the big ice imperil. And we're bringing Ilmatel for the killers. Now you may be thinking, well, Ilmatel doesn't have the killers innately, and you're right. But if you equip her STMR and you equipped Ihana's STMR, you can get fairy and human killers on her. So that's what I'm doing. She also comes with a 100% Omni killer at EX2, so you can bring her. You can also bring like Rosa, or you can bring Ihana if you want, because Ihana has the human killer as well. So does Ihana also have the fairy killer actually? Let me check on that. Does she have fairy killer in her kit? Because I might as well just bring her if that's the case. I only have her EX1, of course. I'm going to check this. No, it's just human and insect. So I want the fairy killers as well. I want both killers. So we're just going to do that. Okay. So let's quickly go over the gear. All right, peppermint rod. Yeah, so pretty basic gear. I'm not doing anything too crazy. You don't really need the Emperor's Ring. It just gives her some extra stats. I love Chocobos for the ailment resist. You want to make sure everyone is confusion resist. That is very important. We want human and fairy killers. She's got 300 human, only 250 fairy. I could probably add a little bit more fairy, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Elena is, yeah, pretty much full bulk build, and this is just kind of like my favorited build for her. Doesn't really matter, she just needs some bulk. I did give her an Ayaka card, so she can chain with Ayaka if we need to, but I'm actually not going to use her for that. I will use her Brave Shift form to do some damage. Sorry, let me go back just real quick. So her Brave Shift form, again, it's basically just all bulk. What I can do is actually trade out this vision card, because I'm not going to use her to chain with Ayaka with her vision card. I'll just use another one of the Esper and E-Spear cards, because I have like 5 of those now. There we go. All right, and we'll just use that. I haven't given her any killers. You could give her some more human and fairy killers, but she comes innate with 200%. But I'm not going to worry about that. All right, Laswell, we don't care about him in his normal form. We're here for his Brave Shift form, so just make sure he's got Chain Cat boost somehow. He'll be our primary damage dealer here. Two-handed gun, so Summer Sparky there. Just make sure he's got ailment resist. Make sure he's got some human and Reaper killers, so he is maxed on human and human and fairy, not Reaper. What am I doing? All right, let's give him some fairy killers here, folks. I totally messed that one up. Let's do Mythical Order, and let's do Supernatural Subversion. So now he should have 300 human, 300 fairy, 300 LB damage, and his own vision card. All right, if you don't have his own vision card, Esper and E-Spear works as well on him, because he is a mage in his Brave Shifted form. Ish, we don't really care. Just make sure she's got the card, Ayaka's card, so she can chain with Ayaka. Ilmatel, we don't really care. She's 100% evasion. And yeah, she's just got her own STMR, and she has Ihana's STMR. All right. So Yep, I think that's all good. All right, let's get in here and see how we get this one done. This one should also be a 3-turn clear, I believe. Hope so. We'll find out. All right, so we're gonna do, with Elena, we'll do Celestial Guard for the Omni cover, Sanctuary for the mitigations, and we're gonna go ahead and imbue her with Iced, with True Freezing Innervation. All right, Ilmatel, I think we can use, oh no, we have to use the double rune. All right, so we can do, and I think this lasts, how long does it last? 2 turns? Yep, so we'll do Fairy on Laswell, and Human on Laswell. Ish just does her her blah blah blah. There we go. Okay. Ayaka is going to do her cooldowns, Presence for Everyone, and Encore for the Ice Amp field. Laswell is going to do Elemental Burst Ice, Power of Emotions, and Magitech Suit Boost. Make sure Magitech Suit Boost is the last one because it has the magic store. Okay, so again, you see there's a lot of physical damage, but also some magic damage, so she's just Omni covering all of that. All right, Ish, we'll do her Whipped Cream. Oh, I forgot to make Ilmatel Confused Resist. Whoopsie. All right, hopefully that's not going to be an issue. Okay, and then we're going to do Triple Bar Blizzaja, but we're going to wait until Laswell goes because we basically want to do his LB 2 turns in a row, and that's what we're going to do here. All right, so go ahead and send Laswell first, and then send our Chainers because Laswell's got a bit of a wind-up. Okay, now we can do our Triple Bar Blizzaja to fill up Laswell. Poor Ilmatel, I should have made her resistant, but oh well. Okay, and we're basically just going to do the same thing with Ish again. So, except we're going to do Triple Carol of the Frosty Snow. Laswell needs a little bit more LB fill. Okay, boom, boom, boom. All right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do, because he doesn't need all that, we'll do Benediction. We'll do Bar Blizzaja and Protectka for the physical, because we might take some physical damage here. Okay. Let's do double Bar Blizzaja, actually. All right, and then we'll do Protectka. That feels better. Yeah, he needs 2 of them. All right. So obviously, if my Ilmatel was not confused right now, she would be dropping her LB. It is what it is. All right. Hopefully we still get this one done. Let's see how we go. There we go. Still got it done in 3 turns, even with a confused Ilmatel. All right. So if you're learn from my mistake and make sure your Ilmatel is confused resistant so that she can actually participate and provide the killers to Ayaka when she's supposed to. And then reapply the killers to Laswell on turn 3. That's funny. But still got it done, even though I messed it up. Still got it done in 3 turns. There's Laswell hitting the damage cap basically 2 turns in a row. All right. Ayaka doing a considerable amount of damage as well, and that's how we got it done. Obviously, if you bring a friend Ayaka or a friend Laswell, as long as they're confused resistant, you should be able to knock this out. You could probably do it in 2 turns with a friend. All right, 3 turns if you don't have a friend. All right, so yeah, hopefully this was helpful to you guys. That's how I knocked these guys out, and yep, I do really want to try like another janky ice team with my EX1 Gladio. So we all got an EX1 Gladio now. If you do all the missions, I'll show you real quick in the adventure rewards. So you go up to the like where you do your crest rewards and everything. So if you did yeah, the January Crust Past Final Fantasy 15. Okay, or yeah, Final Fantasy 15. So you had to do like the points in the Insomnia, and then you had to do the Starscourge, right? You had to do all those levels in the Starscourge and the Long Road and all that stuff. And if you did all that, then you get a free Gladio, and you get like enough shards to make him EX1. If you spend $25, which I sure as hell am not going to do, then you can also get him to EX2, because you get a bunch of extra shards, enough to get him to EX2. I'm not doing that. Mine's stuck at EX1, and that's where he's going to live for the rest of his days. I'll show you. I've got him over on my bonus team. So there's my EX1 Gladio. I do want to try and get into the Vision World and see what I can do with him, and see if I can maybe do a rank 1 with him on an ice team. It may or may not work. If it does work, I'll record it and try and get that out to you sometime next week. All right. But anyways, thank you guys so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.